Welcome to Geek Out Virtual Con, the replay of our special 2-day live streaming event, April 11th through 12th, 2020. In this session, we have special guests, Chuck Fresh, Jake Estrada, and Steve Kurtzke from Indie Originals and the Underpresence.
All right, let me bring Jake back in. I just kind of rudely just threw him out of the room a while ago. And, now that everybody shifted around and it made me, there's Jake. All right, and then it's just Meredith that's missing. She's AWOL.
Matt,
go ahead.
I'm going to jump out because I'm up in an hour, and I just want to go do some quick, looking at some of the guests that I have on in an hour that I don't know. So I want to do some research. So I'll catch up with you guys at noon.
All right, appreciate it, Rob. We'll see you then.
See you guys later. Nice meeting Chuck, and to the ones I know, hello, and I'll see you later.
Thanks, man.
Thanks so much, Rob. And all right, now we've got the Underpresence. Switching from marketing, but keeping some of the same guys on here, man. And I'm a big fan of the paranormal. I don't watch a whole lot of the shows because these days, too many of them come across as fake to me. This every little freaking dust flake that goes by, it's, oh my God, there's a spirit. But
they had faces.
yeah, they had faces. But why don't you guys take over? Tell everybody what it is that the Underpresence is, what you all do, what you're about. Let them know.
Jake, you want to do this or you want me to do it?
You do it, because your voice is velvety.
Okay, well, we started this show.
All right, so we wanted to do something different because, like you said, all these other shows, a lot of them they're bullshit. A lot of them are fake. A lot of them are boring. So we wanted to say, how do we do a paranormal investigative show and make it different? How do we put a slant on it that makes it a little more interesting? And we said, Jake and I were talking, like, we should come up with these crazy characters. And we're thinking about, like, well, that wouldn't work. And then I was like, why wouldn't it work? I mean, it's basically a cross between a documentary, a reality show, and a drama. So we call it, what do we call it? A drama-mentary?
Drama-mentary. That's right.
Yeah, it's like really never been done. Not that I'm aware. I'm sure somebody's done something like that. So Jake and I come up with these characters, and Jake is an ex-priest, and last season, I played an active priest.
Jesus.
And I'm also a medium.
¿Qué pasó, Jesús? ¿Dónde está? Yo necesito mi mano.
We go through all this crazy stuff. We filmed 6 episodes and some other stuff behind the scenes too, some other behind the scenes stuff too. And with our investigator Steve Kurtzke, and I think we came up with something that's really interesting and a little bit different. And all our results are completely legitimate. Yeah, we see Matthew. We see some of the orbs and stuff, and we went a little crazy in the first couple episodes with orbs. But our EVPs are mind blowing. I mean, stuff that Steve's heard. Right? Some of this stuff is so clear and it's intelligent. It's actually responding to our questions, which I've never heard on any paranormal investigative show.
I mean, how we made fun of our faces.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Steve's got some stuff. Steve, you've seen some stuff in the last couple of months.
Unbelievable. I mean, stuff you just cannot debunk. I mean, as much as we debunk and try to rule out things, some things are just there.
We try. We actually we were going to do a 4-stop show before this coronavirus bullshit kicked in.
I know.
We're going to do 2 in St. Augustine, 1 in was it Savannah, and then 1 maybe in
Charleston.
Charleston. Yeah. We were going to go all over, but then we got shut down and our hotel stuff.
Production killed.
I think
Savannah's supposed to be like one of the hottest or the most haunted cities in America.
Yeah,
that's what we hear. So yeah, we had that all set up. We're gonna go back up there when this thing's all done and do that. But yeah, the stuff that we've got in these kind of like not really haunted places that we found here in Melbourne, with the exception of Ashley's restaurant, which is Steve's hangout.
Hot zone.
Unbelievable results on video, audio, and in person too. Unbelievable.
What's the freakiest EVP that you guys have caught?
Steve, why don't you take it?
Well, in my opinion, we were at the Hell and Blazes Brewery in Melbourne, and in the vault room, they have a little case in the back where
that is freaky as hell.
Yeah, they dug up artifacts in the ground. and they have these artifacts.
Especially
And
that condo.
we got paranormal and murder on the voice. And we have these little, while I was doing the dowsing rods, we caught on camera these little white speckles of light that were traveling upwards.
So you know what's funny about that is I caught an EVP at the same time that said happy birthday. And
Yeah.
It was right in between my birthday and Felicia's birthday.
Yeah.
It was like it wished us a happy birthday and showed us fireworks. I mean, everybody's like, that's dust.
The fireworks going right upwards.
Traveling dust.
Yeah.
Right. With
Yeah, that was
different
awesome.
colors.
Man,
Me. But the worst one, the funniest EVP or the weirdest EVP I've ever, not the funniest one, was we were at Rec 225 over in Cocoa.
Yeah.
And it's kind of metallic. It sounds a little weird, but it says, we were asking, did you murder Ethel Allen? We were asking, Ethel, we were trying to, we were asking, Ethel Allen, right? And Ethel Allen comes through in like this weird robotic female voice. And she says, William did it. And
that was like big.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. He said, William did it. William. And then she said, murderer. Did you hear that, Steve?
Yes.
It's kind of hard to hear, but.
And then it went 666, the 3 6s.
Oh, that's pretty weird too.
Our meters were both spiking at 66.6, and the temperature was in a room that was much different than what our meters were picking up.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, we put two right next to each other. It's really weird. And then the guy comes through and says, hello. In Casadega, we got some weird stuff too. Remember?
Yeah.
Somebody came through. I said, what is your name? And it said something like Mitch or Rich. And I said, if you say Mitch or Rich, and he comes through like a second later and says, Mitch. That's an intelligent response, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Or what about Comic-Con seats?
Yeah, Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And they said our names. We have our names. And they said some bad words too, which I put it in the stuff.
I don't know if you guys can see the chat, but Meredith just asked, Steve, what's the coolest piece of equipment that you have? Keep it clean, Jake.
Oh, man. I mean, I've got thousands of dollars worth of equipment, but I would say between the SB11 Spirit Box, the thermal cam, and the 360 periscope. I mean, those are just some of the pieces of equipment that have got me some really great evidence.
Now, I got a challenge for you, gentlemen, because I'm the antithesis because I don't believe in the paranormal. Now, what are some experiences that you have that I'm sure you all came into this being skeptic, and something in your life must have been the catalyst to say, no, this is all real. What would you do to I wouldn't say convince me, but tell me your story of your transition to say, you know what, this is Bupkis to, yeah, this is real.
Jake filmed a movie about it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Your movie, Jake. That's a big story.
Christian, next time we have a local investigation going on, we're going to bring you in one of our.
Please.
You gotta see this.
Yeah.
You have to see it.
So
we were discussing, as funny as it sounds, during our Halloween specials, and we don't know how we were going to do it, but I think probably an audio recording or an EVP recording to do for the traveling TARDIS. We're going to take the traveling TARDIS to a haunted place and record an EVP and see if our audience would be. If we could change our audience's minds, who are people like me, who are, I'm not saying that there's nothing out there.
That's the easiest way. That's the easiest way to do it. You got to come along and see it for yourself and experience it. Yeah.
And I've had experiences. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Central Florida, but the Greenwood, I think it's Greenwood Cemetery off of Goldenrod Road, where I think it's Greenwood Cemetery. Yeah, and basically they have something called the Moonlight Tour, which I love, because the one thing I loved about St. Augustine is not just doing the paranormal research, but to listen to the stories that they had, to just listening to what took place in here and why it might be paranormal. And I love those stories. And they do a Moonlight Tour, and I did have a paranormal experience where I was holding a flashlight, and I just said to the flashlight, if there's somebody out there, turn it off. And it went off. And I said, really? Turn it back on. And it came back on. And this happened 3 times. Now, were the batteries loose? Was I standing on a hill? Was I walking? Yeah, all that stuff was happening. But just for me to say that on demand and it to actually happen at the time that I asked these things, yeah, I can't put that. And basically I'm walking around the cemetery. So yes, there's it would be a lot of paranormal. But yeah, going back to the question, what was the moment? And I know, Jake, you have a full movie if you want to promote that out there, let people know and watch that. But,
House 226.
Yeah, House 226. If you go, it's on YouTube. Check it out. It's free.
Jake, what's that about? Tell us, everybody, what it's
about.
Yeah,
exactly.
Really interesting story.
House 226 is basically about my experiences when I was a lot younger. When I was living in New Jersey at the time, I was basically almost possessed by a demonic presence that wanted to take my body. And I was visited.
It was female too, wasn't it?
It was a female, yeah. And
come on! Woo!
I mean, she was hot too. She had no head. She would come up
literally
to
hot.
me, hey, baby cakes, come over here. No,
listen, what you do in your spare time, I don't want to know. But and you made a movie about it too.
Yeah, in all seriousness, though, it was just like the dark presence that was it was in a corner, and it was slowly calm. And I actually got extremely sick. I could barely walk at one point. I actually had really severe tremors. It wasn't until I was visited by a local pastor who basically did an exorcist over this dark entity that then allowed for me to slowly get better. I mean, it could have been a lot of different things, but that actually brought me more into that side, believing that there is a whole other side besides this world that we do live in.
Steve, did you have a weird experience that got you into this whole paranormal thing?
Yes. Well, before I've been doing this, I've been doing the paranormal for 13 years now. And I was always the type of person that if I was curious enough about something, I would check it out and see what it's about to see for myself if there's something to it or not. And I was doing an investigation at Ashley's restaurant, and I had an older version of the spirit box. It was the SB7 spirit box. And I was, doing an investigation after hours in the ladies' room. And
hello there.
That story before.
Yes, you're sweeping at such a high rate of speed, creating a static charge around the device. I was asking a question. I said, "What room am I in?" And the sweeping stops, and then you hear "in a bathroom," crystal clear.
Whoa.
And yeah, and after the sentence got done, the sweeping started up again, and it scared the crap out of me. I'm not gonna lie, but some of the, I think one of the other situations I captured was on Memorial Day at Ashley's Restaurant a few years back. All the tables had flags on them sticking out of the salt and pepper, sugar holders, and the flag in the middle of the night. I was doing an investigation using a full spectrum camera, and one of the flags started to wobble back and forth, and the flag lifted out of the holder and traveled about 5 inches and slammed. It bounced onto the table with force.
Steve, don't you have a video of that too?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Oh, some of the things that you can capture in real time, like on the spirit box or on the thermal camera, which it's pretty amazing when you actually see something or experience something in real time. It's an adrenaline rush.
It is a little frightening.
Wow.
Just some of the stuff we've seen too. I mean, we haven't really seen anything, and I understand it's really rare to actually see like anything like paranormal, like a ghost or. I don't know.
I'm seeing something paranormal right now. I mean, those eyes, bro.
But Jake's seen something, right? You did. Did you see the apparition when you?
It was actually little Jake at Space Coast Comic-Con. You remember?
Right. He said he saw something at the Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He said he saw. What did he say? Like something like a white dress.
Yes.
And he saw that.
Yeah.
And he can sleep at night. He's not bothered by that.
No, he's just more spooked by Legos, man, than ghosts.
That was scared the crap out of me. I don't know if we'll do that, but yeah, I mean, just some of the stuff we've seen in season 1 is going to be nuts, and season 2 is going to be even cooler.
Oh yeah,
some of these places
cooler.
We're going to like Savannah, and some of these other places are just mind-blowingly haunted.
Oh, we're going to go to the Keys too, aren't we?
Yeah, we got to go back to the Keys because
we're
going to visit that Robert doll.
We'll be back right after this.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Jake Estrada from Indie Originals. This year, for Indie Originals 2020, we've added another category, and that's comic books, independent comic book creators. That's right, guys. Here we are. We're inside a comic book shop. and look at all these beautiful comic books. I want to tell you, indie comics are the backbone of Marvel and DC because Marvel and DC cherry picks certain creators and they make these guys superstars. So that's why we added comic books. But I'm a comic book guy as well. I'm the creator of BOCAS, soon to be released feature film. And we also have Terrence Baker as a judge, along with Nino Mazzarina, who does the Unbelievable Laundry Detergent Man, along with his little comic strip that he does for the Chicago Tribune. You need to sign up. You can go to www.indieoriginals.com and sign up for the Indie Originals Comic Book Contest. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Peace out. Oh, I can't wait to visit that doc.
We're going to mess with him, and we have our Ouija board that we found in the cemetery.
Yes.
And we're going to bring that on the show. Steve doesn't want
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Y'all found a
we did.
board and a cemetery.
We were digging out back after we got some info, and we went out and we started digging it, and we found this ancient witch board.
Okay, so someone buried this thing.
You
guys dug it up.
They didn't want it. They got scared. They buried it, and we have it. It's in my living room now.
Yeah, it's in Chuck's house, sitting around the table.
Cleaned it up. It looks pretty nice. Yeah.
And this is reason 1,078,000 on why I'm glad I live in Texas and not Florida.
People do some weird shit in Florida, that's for sure, man.
And I would be all about going on a location with you guys, but not if you're going to break out the Ouija board.
You know what? We say a prayer before and after, and I think there's something about the chemistry of this group. I feel like we're protected. I know that sounds really strange, but I feel like a guardian angel or somebody's looking out for one or all of it. I know. Actually, we asked
all of us.
Yeah, I think we asked Jake's grandmother. Jake's grandmom.
Oh yeah, she dances on my shoulder and everything.
We had that Connect 360 thing, and we asked if this is Jake's grandmom and you're here to protect him, step down onto this thing, and we have it on our channel too. And she kind of reaches down cautiously and steps onto this patio furniture, and she's like dancing with Jake.
Yeah.
Now,
and tell everybody where your channel is.
We're on YouTube most of our shows are on YouTube, but you search the Underpresence.
We'll be on Amazon pretty soon.
Yeah, we're going to do Amazon.
Subscribe to our channel.
We have to do the closed captioning and painted, but we're on Facebook, Instagram,
I'm just totally doing it.
And the underpresence.com has links to everything too.
Beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
And as they were saying at the beginning of this, everybody, I used to watch a lot of the paranormal shows until they just got all ridiculous. And these guys take a fresh approach to it, but everything that you see is legitimate, and they're not gonna have the overreactions to a bug on film. They're gonna try to debunk it first, and they have a little fun doing it. And they've definitely got some. I thought I had some big ones, but these guys got some big balls if they're going to be breaking out an old Ouija board that somebody buried in the backyard.
We've got more. We've got a couple surprises for season 2. The Ouija board is the lowest piece of it.
Yeah, I've been going to flea markets looking for classic or haunted items and been asking people that right at flea markets, is this item haunted? And they look at me like I'm almost crazy. And I'm like, hey, it has to be more.
Where do you see this? It's just like everybody's got, these people are nuts.
I got to say this. There was, I remember a TV show. It didn't last. I think it was like 4 episodes, but it was the funniest paranormal show ever. And this would be something that probably somebody would film in the Space Coast. It was basically, I don't want to downplay it much, but on the word, but there was 3 rednecks who literally, I know, but these guys, whatever you were told as far as paranormal, the paranormal, I guess for the team or whatever, what they're called there, the term paranormal society, they would say, don't play with Ouija boards, don't do this, don't do that, don't do certain things.
We ain't scared.
Yeah, I know. These guys literally, they had they took one
magnet over there.
They took one of their friends, and I'm not kidding you, they buried him with a camera. They literally put him in a coffin, put dirt over him, and not only that, the guy on the other side was doing.
I'm gonna have to get my kids to do it.
So I mean, they pulled everything out, but it was funny to watch them. It was just hysterical. Now, whether they were joking or they were real, I have no idea. But I mean, where would you draw the line?
Well, that's the thing. You really don't know what's real because we don't really understand what's real. So I think, man, there's no boundary.
Well, I would think safety would be the biggest thing. You wouldn't put anybody at risk.
No.
But would you bury Jake with a camera?
Jake, we would bury Jake. Yeah. We'd have to dig a really big hole. Really big hole, man.
The beach.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll do it there.
Yeah,
I think it's got to be a cemetery.
What was that?
Yes, that'd be even better.
Yeah.
No. Cemetery, that would be good.
No, that scene from Creepshow where they have Ted Danson buried on the beach. If you remember that one up to
I heard somebody died. They did it like last year. Somebody died. They actually buried somebody on the sand. They put his head under. I don't know what they were thinking, but then a wave came up and bro died. Dang.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to do that on the beach, man.
Yeah. Jake, he'll get out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
BOCAS.
So it's fun. It's fun too. We got a lot of exciting stuff for season 2. What's that?
Where someone used to be buried, and if they were buried alive, there's a little bell on the top of the headstone that they would ring the bell, and then the cemetery keeper would see or hear the bell jingling, and they would hopefully dig them up alive.
Steve, we should put bells in the cemeteries. We should install bells there.
Well,
that'd be cool.
that's where you got Saved by the Bell from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's back, Meredith. She's back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
He's back.
It's time for a giveaway, guys. We've got door prizes. So what I want to do is, if you guys are a live viewer, put in a message wherever you are, and we're going to pick a random winner. We've got 2. I've got 2 T-shirts here. And yeah, look at that. We got Underpresence T-shirts.
Just like the one Steve is
and what's that?
I said just like the one Steve is wearing.
Very comfortable. Very high
exactly like the one.
Sexy.
They are very nice shirts, and I'm
Highly
actually
fashionable.
sacrificing one of mine. I left it in the package, knowing that we were going to do door prizes. So
we'll get you another one.
I know. But so if you are a part of the live audience, leave a comment, and that way we can do a random drawing, and then I will DM you or message you and get your address so we can send those out. Back to you guys.
Meredith, I'm going to leave it with you for just a minute.
I like beans.
I think that was just his comment to let us know he's here.
I'm not rigging the contest, but that should at least give a bell curve right there.
Hey guys, if you're indie creators, man, like and follow our channel, Underpresence. You can go on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Share and comment too, man. I mean, you can even put
come to your house.
Comments. I don't even care.
Wait, there's 22 of you, and I see 4
segues really
posts.
nicely.
We got Matthew Blocker,
I know.
Frank, Ethan, and E. And the guy in the E says UK. I'm a big E.
I'm
so
big E.
what
are you doing? What is
that segues really nicely into indie originals. You guys, did we miss the contests?
No,
we're
or is there still a deadline?
Yeah, it was originally April 15th, but
we pushed it back.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who can't afford it. A lot of people who are working in bars. A lot of their gigs were canceled. A lot of people
this whole thing.
Books delivered. Movies are not finished. So we lost a month. We decided to push it back. I'm still working on the date. I think it's going to be June 15th, and then we'll announce in July or August. But I'll have information. So yes, it's still open for indie authors, for indie musicians, for indie filmmakers,
indie comic creators. Yep.
Comic creators are the big one too. We don't have that many entries in comics because it's our first year in comic books.
Send me those comic books.
Great chance, a really good opportunity to say you're an award-winning comic.
You will get a trophy.
That's right. You get a trophy and you get those bragging rights too. And I'm looking in a comic book, I'm going to say there's comic book A that doesn't have an award. Comic book B is award-winning. Which one am I going to buy as a consumer? Which one am I going to
take all day long?
I'm going to be award-winning. Let me try this one first. So we're going to give constructive feedback. I think Jake's working on that too. You get a couple sentences. Hey, we liked what you did here. Maybe try to do this. And it's all for one. I think what are they? $19.
Yeah.
And some of the other competitions are like $69 to $199 for one entry.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Ours are really low, and you get a lot of bang for your buck. Plus, all the winners on our website, and the winner, I think the grand prize winner gets like this $2,500 package where you get like a 45-minute interview on our podcast and our channels. Plus, you get some swag from our marketing company. We have a secret marketing company under Indie Originals. I can't tell anybody, Jake. It's killing me.
Don't tell them.
But we sell, it's
Go
the
to the site.
subsidiary that
Go to the site.
sells social media engagement. We sell social media engagement. I know it's underhanded, it's ridiculous, it's mean, it's probably
It's the way the world is, man.
But if you can't get it legitimately, what are you gonna do?
Your Facebook.
You gotta take it.
You gotta take it, baby. That's what we're doing.
You walk up into the convenience store and say, "Give me all your likes."
Information about the contest, the prizes, the categories at www.indieoriginals.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere there too. So I'm excited. We've seen a couple of really good movies so far, right, Jake? And
I'm always
a couple of
excited.
the comic books we shot over to you already. You've read a couple of those, right?
Oh yeah, there's some fantastic entries, man. You know, from the comics to the movies to the books, even to the music. You know, it's just last year they were good. This year they're even better. You know, this is even crazier. Awesome. You know, people step up their game big time.
I don't want to cut you guys off, but I meant Meredith, we got a question from Stephen Orth. He's asking, is there a schedule posted for what panels or when? So if you want to remind the audience where they can find times when people are performing.
That's rude.
Yep. If you go to
man.
I'm not listening to you, but when's the schedule, man? Thanks, Steven. Jake, where's your gun?
Well, where's BOCAS? BOCAS.
I'm BOCAS.
Now you can tell him where it is.
Jake, Santa's waiting for you. You've been a naughty boy.
Oh, I can't wait for BOCAS too, brother.
You know, that reminds me, I have a sticky note that asks Christian about the chocolate-covered ants.
Here it comes.
Why is it sticky?
About what? Chocolate-covered ants.
Sticky
chocolate-covered ants.
What does that mean?
I have no idea what word. I think I saw that, and I'm like, what? I said they're crunchy. That was it. That was my response.
So you've tried them?
No, I have not tried them.
Why do you know they're delicious?
Oh, they're ants. When you step on them, they go crunch. So I'm assuming melts in your mouth, not your hand.
They probably take some of the crunch out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, I've never.
Well, to answer Stephen's question, Stephen Orth, you can find the schedule on geekoutvc.com and scroll down. You're going to see a lot of the profiles for our special guests. And if you click on the sign that says schedule events, that'll take you right there.
Oh, who's up
Back
next?
to you guys. BOCAS.
BOCAS.
BOCAS 2.
BOCAS 2.
BOCAS 2.
BOCAS 2 is coming.
Jake?
When is that coming?
Okay, so the script is about 99% done. We're going to start filming sometime this year, if once we get past this coronavirus pandemic and we can start going out to actual sites again.
We'll be back right after this. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Meredith.
Guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time to pay some bills. And guess what we have on deck?
Wouldn't want to begin to guess with you.
We've got cue cards, the universe, and everything.
Oh, what is it? Cards, the universe, and everything, man. That game is addicting. And if you check out our article, folks, we have got some freebies for you.
Do we want to tell them what the code is?
No, they have to go to the website.
Yeah.
Look for the review on Q and read the review, and somewhere in there's a code that'll get you a couple of hundred gems, 2 epic or better cards. And folks, this game is like Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering. It's a card collecting and battle game, and you battle with everything from crickets to dinosaurs and everything in between.
All right, so everybody, look for the cue cards, look for our article on geekinsider.com.
We're going to start filming, BOCAS 2 basically is going to be based in Christmas. and Christian's gonna be playing a special character this time.
Ooh. What's
I'm not
Kristen
saying.
playing?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
The human ant?
Saint Nick who eats ants
Oh, that's hot. Let's see.
Eat ants. Okay, fine.
in a bikini.
Hey, Jake, will a lot of the crew be
In the
returning for
beginning.
BOCAS too?
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few characters returning from the previous film.
Will there be a zombie scene film soon? We're going to need zombies for this film?
We're going to need zombies actually for the human virus.
And we're going to do a dance scene again in BOCAS too? We'll try to get this in the film this time?
We're going to get I want a dance scene for Santa Clauses.
Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. A bunch of those. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to increase my salary on that one, sir.
Do that.
2 bananas for you.
Okay, 2.
And a bag of chocolate covered.
They better be yellow, not green this time.
And toilet paper as an incentive.
And toilet paper. Nice.
Believe.
From the dollar store, 1 ply. Yes.
I'll just steal it from my previous job. Just go and boop, boop, take out the big.
Nice.
Yeah, we have that coming up, and then, like I said, we're still filming the human virus, and we're still doing Underpresence filming as well. So we're working on season 2, and once this pandemic hit, me and Chuck and Steve, we stopped filming. It was just like wow. So it left us out in the woods.
Yeah. It's all good. We'll catch up, and it's we got a little bit more time to plan, so we look bright. You know what I mean?
And we can't wait to show you guys the Ouija board that we found, man. You're going to be blown away by that. Yeah.
Steve's going to sit that one out.
Yeah.
It's too spooky. Yeah. Who's up next, Meredith? I think we're done. Are we done here?
Are we done here?
Yeah, we're at 11:30, right?
It's 11:30.
Wow.
We're okay. We're what?
Oh, we're up to noon.
You're up to noon.
All right.
We're up to noon.
So let's keep talking.
Let's do it.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, I got a question for you. Since we're talking about the thing out there, when did it finally hit you? When did it finally hit you that this was happening? I'm sure there was a moment of denial, and then at some point you went to the store, you went outside.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. What happened? What finally said?
3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, when I was about to go filming, or maybe it's even 4 weeks ago, when I was about to go out filming for a scene for the human virus, and I got told to postpone filming because it involved too many people, and we're starting a social distancing program that we have going. I actually got a phone call by the police.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So I was like, "Whoa."
I think it would be an impressive movie.
That's not good when they. That's not good when the police know your first name, Jake.
Jake.
I mean, Wayne Ivy knows my name. A bunch of other cops know my name, and I'm like, yo, I know. I hang out with 80 people. I can't help it.
Jake,
I'm a criminal.
I think you actually, for the first time, you actually applied for a filming permit.
That's what happened. I actually filmed for a filming permit. I actually went legal. I went legal, and then
See what happens? Yeah.
I don't think it would make for a scary movie if the zombies are 6 feet apart coming at you. it just doesn't look right.
No, it don't. Not at all.
Don't catch them. Whatever you do, don't catch them.
I was hearing stories that this coronavirus, this COVID-19 thing, may have something to do with infecting your brain, and I'm like, oh, there we go. This zombie apocalypse just became real.
Yeah.
They're still investigating that. Something to do with lesions in the brain. And they're still developing.
I mean, there's still a lot of mysterious things about this virus, and it's pretty much it's pissing me off, more or less to say, But I'm kind of a busy guy. I like to keep on doing a lot of stuff at one time, and the moment it's like taking away my freedom. Yeah. I hate my freedom being taken.
That's the thing. The whole thing to circle back to indie originals. We were just taking care of other creators, and we said to ourselves last year, like, you know what? We need to prove that we are indie creators in all these fields as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. We are indie creators. I mean, Chuck, he makes music, he sings, he writes, he even draws.
And we have movies under our belt, so now we
make movies.
Crazy. I mean, this craziness of filing a movie permit and getting denied at the last minute, and all the scheduling and the distribution and the closed captioning nightmare involving
Oh my
movies.
God, closed captioning is a nightmare. So
I had no idea. So now that we've done this over the last year, we've got a couple of TV shows and a couple of movies. We kind of understand the process now.
Yeah.
And I think we can kind of address people who enter our competition. Now we can identify, we can empathize with all the troubles and weirdness that they go through when they create these things. And I think it makes us better judges, because there's a lot of competitions out there who have no idea. They've critiqued movies for years, but they've never made one. And I don't think you can really understand the passion and the blood, sweat, and tears that are involved until you actually make one. And what a pain in the ass it is to make a movie. I mean, I love it to death. I love it. I keep doing it, but it is a lot of work. The editing
alone, man.
It's a lot of work.
For a full feature on BOCAS, I mean, between the both of us, we must have 400 hours.
Yeah.
I
mean, I sat there for hours editing a movie for about 2 months straight, and then I shot it over to Chuck, and then Chuck took another several weeks to edit it, his version of it, and we just kept going back and forth editing like crazy. Yeah.
So you've done the comic books, Jake? So
I've done comic books. I've done, Space Coast Comics, which I used to sell ads for it, physical ads. I used to get like bars, used to buy ads, pizza shops, and I used to draw the ads, and then we would create ads for like hippie shops. And I did that for years, selling ad space, and they were free. I just distributed for free all over the place. That's how I met Christian. Christian can tell you about that. Who I made a little joke when he had that little post earlier today, talking about what was the first time you met me. I was screaming in the middle of a terrible convention.
Yeah, he was. That was
programs for sale.
Well, first of all, let me give a few shout outs on the chat. A couple of geeks, Elite in Town. If you're in the cosplay, these guys are nice and sweet. You got to check them out. Elite in Talent on a couple of geeks. They put out. You want to check them out on the Instagram. Garrett has been chatting away too of the Hanging with Web show, which he's doing his CyberCon next weekend, and he says BOCAS ain't afraid of no virus, except for maybe the human virus. And Garrett keeps on going, and it says these guys work so hard getting it done. So yeah, props to that out there. But yeah, the first time I met you, Jake, was at Space Coast Comic-Con, and I forgot what was going on, but you were just running down the middle of the hall shouting your lungs out. That's, I think,
Jake does that a lot. It's normal.
Yeah, exactly. That's if you've been to a Space Coast, you haven't met Jake unless he's not able to speak at the end of the convention because of all the shouting and stuff that he's been doing and talking.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of people, there's either two ways. You either talk to me or you don't talk to me. Because either people see me and they're scared, and then they don't talk to me. But I always say, if someone's like, well, I've never met you before. I'm like, I've seen you about a dozen times. What are you, blind? I'm like 7 foot tall, you moron.
Well, most of them are just people going up to me, going like, "Who's he cosplaying?"
Yeah. I got a quick question, guys, and I don't know if this has already been asked. If it has, you can answer it again for me. How did the Underpresence meet?
We met. We had a radio show about it must be 3-4 years ago with somebody else.
Yeah.
And the co-host on the show, Karen Wooden, was interested in doing paranormal investigation. She was a big fan of the shows that are on, I think, the Travel Channel. I don't remember what they're all called. I've seen them once or twice.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. They're stupid. But yeah, she was interested in doing paranormal investigations, and she knew Ashley's was haunted. And somehow she met you, Steve. Somehow, I don't know where she met you.
Well, I was actually the very first host on their first guest on their show.
Oh, I should remember that.
Yeah.
So you probably will. Well, thank you. But how did Karen meet you?
Who's that? What's that?
Karen Wooden. How did you meet Karen Wooden?
If I can remember that far back, she might have actually came into Ashley's and maybe spoke to me about appearing on their show as a guest. If I can remember that far back.
Oh, I thought he meant Ashley's Furniture there for a minute.
Ashley's Restaurant.
Yeah. So Steve came in and he was on the radio show, and I think this guy's pretty interesting. And why don't we go out and film something at Ashley's? And we got this ragtag team of people together, and we all met at Ashley's one night. And you have to pay Ashley's to investigate there, which is a little weird. But
hey, they got to make money one way or another.
Yeah, so they shut it down. You come in after hours, and somebody hangs around and kind of chaperones you, and we kind of do our stuff. And we had a really, really interesting investigation that first time, including still probably, Steve, and you could back me up on this, probably the most clear and authentic EVP I've ever heard. When
Yes.
you asked, Elizabeth was there. A woman named
Yes.
Elizabeth was on her team. And she goes, and Steve's there with the SB11, the spirit box machine, which generates this white noise and this EMF stuff that kind of attracts spirits. And actually, this is haunted. It's well documented and proven that there's something going on there. We don't know what, but Elizabeth talks in the machine. And Steve says, "You want to ask a question?" And Elizabeth's like, "I don't believe this. What's my name?" And it's like, Elizabeth. Oh, and the whole place just like clear as day, like seconds later, and everybody just like, and we have that on our channel too. We have that all videotaped and all documented.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And right there, man, I'm like, there's something here. I said, this is the coolest because there's no way to fake that.
I mean, there's no USB ports on the device or nothing. I mean, that's clearly
this thing's sweeping at what? So you'd have to, if you were to fake that, you'd actually have a radio transmitter, and it would have to continuously be saying Elizabeth, 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 the same way all the time. And how you would actually line it up with that particular moment at 150 milliseconds? No way to do it.
Right. No,
I tried to figure out how to fake that because there's no way to do it.
And in case you missed it, guys, the way to catch the Underpresence show is on their YouTube channel. Just search for the Underpresence, or go to the underpresence.com, and that has all their links there. And I know we've had some new people checking in, and so Chuck, give them an idea one more time of what is the Underpresence and the show.
Got you. Thank you for that opportunity, Matthew. We're a paranormal investigative show, but we're a little bit different. So we watched a couple of the other shows, and we're like, well, these things are really boring. Everybody's like, oh, did you see that? There's a speck of dust in the air, man. It scared me, or something touched me. And we're like, this is crap, man. These guys are actors, and they're trying to fake this stuff. But being at Ashley's, we knew that there's something more to it. There's actually some legit paranormal stuff out there. So we said, why don't we get this team together? Steve was our technical expert. He's really good. He's got a ton of equipment and very familiar. He's been doing it for 13 years. Wow. And that's cool. We got the technical aspect, the investigative aspect down. But what do we do to make this show different and interesting? So Jake Estrada and I were working on a bunch of projects together. You're like, you know what? We should come up with a couple of characters. So we talked about it, hashed it out over a bunch of weeks, and Jake said, you know what? I could play this really dark ex-priest, and we'd flesh out the story like a drama over a couple of seasons. And I said, well, I do this crazy priest character. I've always wanted to play this in something, and I didn't know what to do. And I said, this might actually be
1,000 voices.
This might actually be the opportunity for me to kind of flesh out this character too. So I play a priest who has his own dark story, and our characters meet up on the show, and we kind of bump heads, and we're at each other's throat the whole time. And it's really fun to actually play this thing out. So it's a drama/documentary. So we've got this drama with these fictional storylines about the characters, which have nothing to do really with the investigations, which are completely legitimate and debunked, just like actually more debunked than most of these shows you see on cable TV. So it's a drama-mentary. And I don't know if it's kind of like a new slant on a reality show, really, because these reality shows are fake. So
yeah, they're all fake.
I figure out how to. We came up with the word drama-mentary, but I don't know if
I like it.
It's weird, right?
You too.
So yeah, when everything gets kind of weird and everything gets kind of boring on the show, Jake and I, with our characters, we fill in those dead spots, banter and a little craziness that people find interesting to watch.
And say you guys have the key right there, in my opinion, because that is exactly where those other shows go so terribly wrong. They've got these stations that are putting bucks behind them, or networks, and then they got these producers that are working for the network, and they go, oh, it's too boring, you got to go back in there and make something happen. And then that's where we get all the a speck of dust. And so you guys coming up with these characters to keep the drama going and to give a little entertainment instead of bullshit, that's what is I really think is going to set you guys apart. I mean, it does set you apart, not going to set you apart, but folks, they're going to be on Amazon very soon, or I won't say very soon, you guys said soon, but This is another one of those indie kind of shows, guys, that here at Geek Insider we really like to get behind, because as you can see, you got talent behind this and some thought went behind it. They didn't just set out to do another investigative show that is going to, if they get picked up, they're going to have to resort to bullshit in order to keep the money coming in. And as long as the writing is fresh, that's one thing that's always key to me, man, is a good, unique angle or a good storyline that takes a fresh look, or of course, just a unique storyline altogether. And so, and then of course, when you throw in the paranormal, man, that just all mixes together for a great combination. And you guys keeping it real. I'm going to tell you now, since this is your first season, keep it that way. Don't ever, sell out. Don't jump the shark. Keep the paranormal.
Jump the shark. I love it.
Keep the paranormal aspect of it real. If you don't get anything, you don't get anything, and that's what's gonna be legit. If y'all are in a location, y'all don't get shit, but we get a funny storyline out of you two guys. Great, all the great. And Jake, buddy, me and you, we're gonna have a beer sometime together, man, because you have my sense of humor. I said before you were even on camera, you were down in the green room, and I saw you doing all kinds of just shit back there, man.
This is mild, Matthew. It's
mild. He's toned it down for us.
Yeah, this is the toned down version of me right here.
It is. Guys, I actually have to go now because we're doing recording.
No.
Wait. I want to let Meredith know. So because this audience will be the first to know who we're recording, literally for Doctor Who on the Traveling TARDIS podcast. A lot of people have been talking about, if anybody is a Whovian out there, understands that a lot of the Cartmel master plan has been thrown around out there as far as why the season has been going the way it's been going. Well, we're going to be interviewing the man who just made the Cartmel master plan, Andrew Cartmel, for Doctor Who. So in about 13 minutes, we're going to be talking to Andrew Cartmel. We're going to be talking about the Cartmel master plan, what he thinks is the direction of what Doctor Who's going in there, and it'll be out sometime this month. So, guys, I have one question for you, and this will be the last question before I go. What is the one thing that you debunked in your investigations that you wish you hadn't debunked? Like, it would have been better if we just left it alone like this. Some kind of thing that you heard, or something that was like, I wish we hadn't done it that way.
I think we were at the Casadega Hotel.
Yeah.
It's this really weird, bizarre place where all these psychics and mediums kind of hang out and basically prey on lonely old women is what they do.
Yeah.
There's definitely some presence there. There's some weird stuff going on. I don't think it's what everybody thinks it is.
Outside of the hotel, things are going on more.
Yeah, I think so too.
The fairy trail.
The fairy trail.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story. But there was this part where we have a bunch of these. We use these hunting cameras because they record at 4K and they're motion sensitive, and they've got all these UV lights built, or IR lights been there. Is it IR or you? No, they're IRs, right? I think they're IR, Steve.
IR.
But anyway, it lights up the whole room when something moves, and we're sitting there. I think Jake and Steve are in a separate room in Casadega.
Yeah, we're in a separate room.
And I'm watching the bed on this thing because I review all this crap afterwards. It's hours. It's just a pain in the ass to review it. But and I'm watching the bed sink. There's nobody on that side of the bed, and the bed sinks. I'm like, did you see? I played it back like 30 times. Like, what the fuck is that? Something just sat on the bed. And then we hear an EVP, and it says, "Did you see that?" It's an EVP. It says, "Did you see?" This thing sits on the bed. I'm like, holy crap! So I look. There was another camera running, a wide angle. And I look on the other side at the same time, and I synced up the sound. And at the same time, Jake sat on the other side of the bed.
Yeah.
I was actually pulling the covers. Somehow it made the other side dip. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the physics of that, but it was at the same exact moment, and I had to debunk it. I couldn't let.
What about the devil's chair as well?
Oh, that was stupid too. I didn't really get anything there. Did you feel anything there, Steve or Jake?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, I felt it just felt like a cemetery.
Yeah,
it didn't. Like I didn't feel any like I was being watched or anything like that. The meters were reading normal.
If you want to go for the views and the eyeballs, you're going to make some crap up there. But I felt nothing. I didn't see anything there at all. Devil's chair. Was I sorry I debunked it? No, because we're legit. We want to be legit.
That's what we did.
I think
we
got
enough real evidence that we don't need the fake stuff.
No. I'm looking for sorry, but more like you were disappointed. Like you really wanted this to be the thing, and just like,
yeah. I mean, I wanted the devil to whisper in my ear in the devil's chair, and he didn't do nothing, man.
We dared him.
I know.
We pretty much dared everybody. We don't care. Wait till you see this Ouija board, man. This is gonna be great.
Oh, dude. Well, guys, thanks, Meredith. I'll be back a little bit later, so I will see you later hosting after we're done with the interview with Andrew. Guys, break a leg. Thank you so much, and BOCAS 2 coming soon. Love you guys.
See you later, bro.
Bye, Christian. See you in a little bit.
See you later, Christian.
So another question that I had, and we can start whoever wants to speak up first, because I know you guys have pretty extensive backgrounds and quite a variety. Kind of like me, I say I'm a jack of all trade, a master of none, but I've got I got little knowledge in a lot of areas. So one of you kick off. Where did you start out at? And just tell us about you.
Me, I started in comic books. I started creating comic books. I had a passion for comic books since an early age, and that's how I got into the little entertainment field that I'm in now. I was drawing comics on boards, on.
Hey, we're back online. So what happened was that our stream ended, and it shouldn't have. So I have to contact StreamYard about that. I'm going to try and get the Underpresence guys back in here so that they could say goodbye. Let us know how how to find them, and then we're going to get out and we're going to step in for Rob and the comic book session. Again, this is live streaming. We've never done this before, so we expect hiccups. Thank you for playing along and being patient with us. So hold on a second. Let me see if I can get the Underpresence guys back in here. Matt, if you want to take it away while I go find them.
While you round them up, huh? Yep. And so
I'm going to round them up.
And so, yep, we're not sure what happened there, guys. We were in the middle of wrapping up with the Underpresence, and all of a sudden I realized that we were dead on the air, or not on the air. But so we're going to get those guys back over here and finish up with them. But again, if you haven't done so, mark down to search up the Underpresence on YouTube or theunderpresence.com. It's a cool little show. I don't know if you're into the paranormal, you've probably ran into the same shows that I have that, they started out okay the first, half a season or season. And then all of a sudden you realize that they're starting to just call anything a possible hit, whether it is just a shadow that's off camera, or it's a piece of dust that's on the film, and you can tell, pretty sure that's dust. It doesn't look like it's an orb, but they're going to call it one. And the whole reason for that is because they have the networks behind them and the producers behind them that are not a part of the actual creative team, and they are forced to go back in and make something up for the to fill the time, because there was just too much boring crap. And that's not what you get with the Underpresence. They've got some characters that they've created, and so when things may not be going as rapidly or moving as rapidly along as they that we would like, as they know the viewers would like, then they've got this little drama going on. And what did they call it, Steve?
Dramumentary.
That's it. And so they're making their way back over here, but let's see. No, nobody else yet. And sorry about that. We're not sure what happened there, Steve. Our license is supposed to allow us to stream for many, many hours, and then all of a sudden we were dead on the water. So, but we wanted to finish up with you guys, of course, and didn't want to rob you of any of the time. But explain, because we've got some viewers here that are here for the comic book section that's up next. So you got some fresh eyes on it. And here I see Jake sneaking in now. And,
wow.
And that's a face only a mother could love, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Hey,
Mama Estrada.
I got the same thing. Meredith is the one that wanted to do this whole video thing. I was like, podcast, I've got a face for radio, but the video thing, I don't know about this. But we'll take it as it is. But Steve, tell everybody what you do with tell everybody what the Underpresence is, and then what your job is. Well, and then I thought you left, and it was Meredith that left. And then Jake, you explain about the characters and everything.
All right.
Okay. I'm a tech whiz at the Underpresence, a paranormal investigator as well. Aside from the Underpresence, I'm a NASA employee. And with the Underpresence, the characters are characters, but the investigations are real. And we add a different twist to the paranormal world, to keep it fun and interesting. And we do prayers before each investigation, and we're very respectful. We don't taunt, we don't use disrespect or violence, and we try to help the souls cross over and try to find answers.
Very cool. And that was a big part that I missed when I was giving everybody a rundown is that the investigations are real. It's just that the characters that Jake and I'm going to totally slip his name.
Chuck,
thank you. I do this all the time. You can ask Meredith. I forget what I'm saying all the time. But anyway,
I
characters,
totally get that, man.
the characters are for fun. That it's not just stupidity. There's actually a driven story. They're not just making up or ad-libbing as they go. And then Jake, you explain about the characters.
Yeah, so Chuck and I, we sat down and we decided to create some drama by creating some characters. But so I play a former priest, and Chuck plays a character called Jesus, Father Jesus. And this character is like larger than life. He screams saying, "I am the spirit magnet." And my character and him, we bump heads a lot, and we're fighting and everything like that. So, but the investigations themselves, though, are real, 100% real. We wanted to focus on, like, if there was going to be any other kind of drama, it would be the characters, not the actual investigations, because like a lot of these other shows, they create all this fake crap, like people getting dragged and all kinds of weird things on all these other ghost shows sometimes, and they add like faces to them, like the dust balls. These were all types of things that Chuck and I were against. We were like, no, if we're going to capture the actual real evidence, we're going to leave that alone untouched, and we're going to either prove it's real or debunk it. And Steve himself has debunked quite a few things, even at Ashley's Furniture as well. Like he could tell you about, like, people have said they get pushed down the steps, and he found out that on the steps it's actually like loose and kind of tilted on the right, Steve?
Yes, it creates almost a funhouse effect where the stairs kind of lean to one side ever so slightly, and so you may get the feeling of being off foot or off balance, which that's all it basically is.
See, and that's the kind of stuff that I want out of a paranormal show is, and like I said a while ago before we were so rudely interrupted by the disconnect, is that I don't care if the investigation doesn't bring anything fruitful. I want to know that, especially if it's someplace that is famous, for being haunted. And, and so you guys bringing in the drama part of it is a refreshing aspect of it to me. I hope you guys keep that as you go along. As season 2, of course, is on hold right now, but as soon as the virus is calmed down, then hopefully you guys can get back to filming really quick. I know you guys told us earlier that y'all have a lot of stuff planned for season 2, some cool stuff. Guys, these crazy son of a bitches dug up a Ouija board out of someone. They heard a story about someone burying it, and now they're going to use it. So check them out at the underpresence.com, the Underpresence on YouTube. And guys, any last words? Any famous last words, Jake?
If you have a haunting, let us know. We might come visit you. We might drive to you after this whole incident is over with. But other than that, I want to see you. And make sure you check us out on YouTube and on our Facebook pages and soon on Amazon. Any words, Steve?
Well, let's thank Meredith for having us. It was a very cool experience. It was a pleasure meeting all of you as well.
Fantastic. It was great having you guys. Tell Chuck we said thanks. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm sure we're going to be meeting again, especially once you guys get back up and rolling. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. All right. Well, Rob, you have got a green room full, so I am going to back out and let you have it, sir.
Thank you for tuning in to our special panel with Indie Originals and The Underpresence with Jake Estrada, Chuck Fresh, and Steve Kurtzke. Be sure to follow them at indieoriginals.com and underpresence.com. BOCAS! Now wait, we've got more panels and special guests, so be sure to subscribe to the Geek Insider podcast, available on iTunes, Spotify, and now we're on iHeartRadio. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you don't, you might have to turn in your geek card.